Okay guys, it is the moment of truth here. I have been waiting for this package for over a week and a half, and came all the way from the East Coast, Delaware specifically, to fix a little problem of mine. My car has been down, and yeah, sneak peek over here. Anyway, let's see what this package is. Another package. Whatever the magic words are. So as you guys know, I got an air ride system on my car. Airlift specifically. The system I have is the Airlift Autopilot V2. It's long since been discontinued. Been discontinued for a while, several years I think. But now we've got ourselves the Airlift 3S. I think this one's also discontinued or on its way out. Yeah, so long story short, what happened was I got a lot of bass in my car, right? And so it kind of tends to rattle things. And sometimes it rattles things apart. Like it just really does a number on stuff. So I was taking apart some of the console to fix it. Fix the rattle I had. And specifically this piece here, which is made of unobtainium. I found one in Europe, but I mean, who knows how long that would have taken to get. And it would have been $300. I got this for $8.25, and it's a whole system. This little piece right here is what broke. The wire specifically just ripped right out of the circuit board. And I've been doing research online to see if anybody's repaired one of these. I contacted Airlift to see if they could help support the repair by telling me, you know, which wires go where, give me a wire diagram and whatnot. And even though they do give a wire diagram in the owner's manual, it doesn't say the orientation of said wires. It just tells you the three wires and what they're for, which is power, ground, and data, basically. But it doesn't do you any good if you don't know how to cross-reference that to the circuit board if you're trying to do a repair.
Basically, a snake don't have parts, but if I had to call it anything, I would say it's his knee.
Now, on top of that, this is going to require some soldering, and soldering, I don't know if you watched any of my other videos, is definitely my kryptonite. And this is not only soldering, this is like micro soldering. We're talking about tiny little, like, I don't know if you've ever worked on an inside of a drone, but super tiny, tiny little wires. And so this is quite scary for me. But I figured I would just buy this whole system so I have a backup, because it's discontinued, like I said. And this is about to be discontinued, I think, too, because they have the 3P and the 3H, or H if you're in England. That basically replaces this. But one thing that's cool about this that my Autopilot V2 system doesn't have is this. You can use wirelessly with the app on your phone. The one I have has, so here's the little plug-in for your wires here, your little dongle or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's not a dongle, but like a harness, right? Where your plug-in goes. Well, on mine, on the Autopilot V2, it's so old school, it's like off to the side here, and it plugs in on the side. It's been a good unit, though. For 6 years, I've owned this thing in 2 different cars, and it's still going. The manifold portion, anyway, is still going. And so, I mean, they make a pretty good product. I think it does have a slow air leak, but I can live with that. It's a tiny little air leak. I've dialed all the rest of the system in. So what I'm going to do, basically, is I'm going to take this apart very, very carefully. And I want to see the orientation of these wires, because this is the same controller as what mine is. So I should be able to open it up and see the orientation, and then I'm going to repair it. And you can see I've got my little soldering station here. This was $80 off of Amazon. I think it's well worth it. So you can hold your tiny little project, and it's got these little arms here, so you can you know, clamp your wires and have them, you know, be where, basically, let me give you a close-up here. This is what the inside of the APV2. This is the APV2 controller. If you didn't know, it's that controller I was just holding up. This is what it looks like on the inside. And basically, these 3 tiny little wires. You can see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it says W1, 2, 3, and 4. Looks like 2, 3, and 4 are what's utilized. Sorry about the scratches on the door. My dog really wants to be part of this video. Anyway, and those are the ones I'm referencing in this repair. So yeah, basically they're coming up from the underside and you solder them on this side. So I've got to clean this up first. This tiny little micro solder crap I'm not looking forward to. And clean that up and then put it back in the car, basically is what the goal is. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to kind of document this process so you can see all of my pain and struggle throughout this process. And hopefully, I mean, wish me luck, guys. Hopefully I get through this and I can still utilize this controller. If not, I do have a backup controller now. But anyway, I just bought this whole system to be a backup. So if and when something in my system does fail to the point where it either can't be repaired or whatever, I do have a backup. Now, granted, I think I'll have to rewire the harness because these are not the same harness, I don't think, between the Autopilot V2 and the 3S here. But, you know, that's easily done. I mean, easy enough, I guess. I'll have to lift up the amp rack, and it's not something I want to do. It's not fun, but, I mean, it can be done, right? So anyway, that's kind of the start of this video, and we'll keep it going so you guys can see how I do. Again, wish me luck. I'm going to need all the luck. I think step one, we're going to take this control panel and we're going to take it apart. It's the whole purpose was find out where the orientation of these wires go. And I got this little iFixit kit for working on real tiny stuff, computers and whatnot. I got this online. Someone was disassembling a Mac Mini with this, and it just helped to have all these tiny little pry tools and whatnot. So I'm going to use that here to try and disassemble this. It's 2 little clips on the side, and then this wire's really wedged in there, so I want to use something to kind of get it out of there. Then we've got this little guy here to pry up on some things too. So just trying to think of what I'm going to use here. These are tweezers. Don't need that just yet. This might actually help. A little screwdriver, little tiny flathead, I'm thinking. We'll try this one. I'm just going to very carefully kind of try to pry this out, just like that. That's what we needed. So that is really wedged in there from the factory, and rightfully so, because this broke, as you know, if you're watching this video, so it's one of those things. I'm going to take this tool, if it fits, and use it to see if we can't get this open. Actually, it's too fat to get in there. That's what she said. So we'll very carefully use this screwdriver, I guess. See, because the old one, where is it? So this is what it looks like. It's got little, yeah, so they do go in. You have to press them in to get this out. Okay, I think I got it on both sides now, so let's just, oh yeah. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Just kind of taking it apart really carefully. So there's that. Okay, here we are. Here is our orientation. Let's just grab this real quick. So if we flip this upside down, you can see they're basically identical. We go black, white, red. That's our orientation. But also I want to see what reference that is to the front side. So if we flip that over, black was on the top here, so that would be W4. White would be W3, and red would be W2. Just so you know, so that's the inside of an APV2. So wish me luck, guys. The next part is soldering. I'm going to take a picture of this so I don't forget, because my OCD won't let me not take a picture. So we're going to do that real quick with my other phone, since my main phone is doing GoPro app duty. So we're going to take a picture. And now I know how to proceed, finally. Yeah, if I didn't mention before, I contacted Airlift. They were no help in getting me this information. They no longer support this product. Their best interest is to have you buy their new product. So why would they give you the answers? So yeah, and they're probably not going to let you speak with one of their precious, highly paid engineers just to solve your puny little problem with a product they don't support anymore. So that's kind of the reason for me doing this video in the first place. So if you find yourself in this situation and you want to try to salvage what you have, rather than having to buy all all new management. This is how you can repair your management. So I'm going to put this back together before it gets broken. So I still have my backup, but at least I have a picture now as a reference guide to what I'm going to do here. So black, white, and red. So data wire is in the center, and then the power and ground are on the edges there. But yeah, if you didn't know that, it's a 50-50 shot. You could fry something if you just put it back together without knowing, right? So hopefully this helps. Yeah, again, wish me luck. I'm gonna try and video the horrible attempts of me to try and solder and repair this, and hopefully it goes well. Okay, so first things first, what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see this or not, but if you can, good. You've got your 3 wires here. This one obviously goes in the center. What I'm going to do is I stripped away some of this casing here, and I'm going to strip away some of the inner casing for each of these wires. See if I've cut enough off here where I can actually do that. Yeah, it's not even small enough to really get a bite. I'll strip a little more of this casing away. This is like smaller than a 20 gauge wire. It's super tiny. I feel like if I do it kind of quickly, I can get a better bite on this stuff, which it looks like it started to. Super tiny. Try it on the edge here. They need to be the same length. Oh, this sucks.
You still owe me another month's rent.
I know I got a bad reputation.
Alright, they're once again the same length. See if I can just strip them the old-fashioned way. There's that. There, I wanted a bit much on there. So delicate. I hate delicate shit like this. Don't like working on it. But I don't have much choice. Okay, kind of crude, but we got her. It's just unfortunate I didn't have my other wire strippers, because that would have made things a lot neater and easier to deal with. It is what it is. Now I'm gonna take my other phone that's not doing GoPro duty. I'm gonna reference the video picture one more time. Here it is. Oh, well, we're not at that stage yet. We've got to clean this up first. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my soldering iron. I'm using a Hako unit, the FX888D. I watched some videos on how to micro solder different people, and one guy suggested that the hotter the better, because you want super heat just for not a long period of time, so that you can get in and out of there and not cause any damage to the circuit board or the pads. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't remember what my temperature setting was. Looks like it was 750. We're going to go up from there, and we're going to go 850. Enter. That should be good. Oh, it didn't like that. Let's see. Just 8. Let's see. Nope, it'll do 750. That's what it'll do. Okay, I guess that's what we have to do then. Maybe I need a upgrade. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it, but I just need to get these little nubs out of here. So that's my plan. We'll see what we can do. I'm gonna get rid of some of these for the time being. Turn this a little bit. I don't know that this magnifying glass is even helping me. Whatever. I need like a little reminder. So goes black, white, red, front, flip that, would be red, white, black, white, black. So I could look at it that way if I'm looking at the front. It just takes me a minute to visualize this. It's nuts. I think I'm not even going to try to clean up the solder that's on there. I'm just going to add a little bit new. Because again, I'm not very good at this. So let me get a Q-tip or something to apply the flux. Because they say the more flux, the better. That's another lesson I got online when I was kind of researching how to micro solder. And I'm probably never going to be a pro. I'm just wanting to get through this though. So I'm going to take these tweezers and just apply some fucking solder to each of the 3 little shits we're working on today. We're going to use some of this solder, this lead-based shit. They say this is the best stuff. Kester, it's got lead in it. I have, up until this point, been using non-lead, the lead-free, and I've had horrible luck with it. So hopefully this lead stuff is a little easier to work with. That's what I hear. So hopefully that theory is correct. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. Wonderful app. Camera connection lost. Can't find the preview. So I don't know what I'm really filming here, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to breathe that stuff, so we won't. We're gonna try not to. Stop it. Okay. A little bit of solder to each little buckaroo there. And this is the order they should go in. What I want to do is have something hold this wire while I'm working on it, like so. And I know what you're thinking, these wires are kind of long, but yeah, I'm hoping that they'll stay in place. What are you doing? Give me another set of clippy something I can make this thing stay in place. Would be nice. Oh, so taxing. I really hate this shit. I think I got the one done. It's ugly, but it's on there. I think. Now for the next one. Oh no, it's not even on there. Awesome. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that this might actually work, but apparently not.
I hate this.
It's ugly. I ain't gonna lie, it's ugly. But I think we might be onto something. Maybe. That's the other thing. Why do these things gotta be so close together? Why's it gotta be so tiny, man? I hate this.
I hate this.
I'm not a robot. Oh yeah, that didn't solder anything. This is so totally awesome. I'm loving it, guys. I'm loving it.
I hate this.
Okay, that was hot. That was really hot. Maybe that's the winning shot for that one. I don't know. I sure hope so, because I'm so tired of fucking with this already. I mean, it's ugly, but it looks pretty solid. You know what I mean? And then once this is solid enough and they're all soldered on there, what I'm going to do is kind of spread them apart. And I have some liquid black tape that I'm gonna just kind of smear and make them have their own encased whatever's, you know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there. Did I mention I hate soldering? This is like best case scenario for me stuff. So I'm just like, this is how much I hate it. It sucks so bad. All right, so yeah. I think we'll put a little more, just a little more juice on this end one just to make it juicy and cooperate a little better, maybe. Hopefully. I mean, that's juicy, right? I don't know what it looks like on camera, but solder sticks to solder and copper. That's what the gentleman said online. So copper up the tip a bit, let it flow down into the thing. Ooh, is that how it's supposed to look? A perfect little bubble like that? I mean, I think that's excessive. It's probably too much solder, actually. I hope that these aren't shorting out anywhere. That would really suck. Whew, okay. Weird, I thought this iron went hotter than 750. Maybe my plug-in doesn't like that. I don't know. I live in an apartment, so there's that. All right, let's see what we can do here on this last one. I think I want to bend it so that it's going the direction I want. And then maybe just press it down with my finger like I've been doing, because that feels the most natural. Wait, no. Oh god, they appear to be separate, which is great. It's exactly what we wanted there. You get the picture. Soldering is fucking bullshit. So next I'm gonna put on that liquid nails or liquid black tape, which I know I have some, so that better be true or I'm going to scream. Oh yeah, I do. Got 2 bottles of it. It's good to have this stuff around. It's good to have multiples of all the stuff you think you might need in the future around, period, right? But yeah, ooh, this stuff might not be good anymore.
No, don't like that.
This is, yeah, it's pretty dried up. Had this for years. This might be the ticket, actually, because it's fresher. Let's see if I can get it open. Okay. Oh, yeah. See?
Oh yeah, here comes Kool-Aid, here comes Kool-Aid, I'm gonna save the day. Here comes Kool-Aid.
Stuff is, as you can see, it's seen better days. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that away. Apparently it expires. All right, as for this stuff, we're just gonna mix it. Get a small paintbrush. I think a small paintbrush is going to be key for this. Lucky I like art, and I have a whole bunch of paintbrushes, so we're going to sacrifice one of my paintbrushes for this project. I'm thinking this might be the right size. Maybe even smaller. It is a pretty small project. Let's do this one. Why not? All right, and I'm just going to kind of paint it on. Okay guys, it's the next day, and this is kind of how it turned out. Now, maybe not the greatest, but we did what we could. Use this as a pointer here. So basically, I soldered all 3 of these, and I made sure they were good and separate, and I think I did an okay job, just barely tolerable. If it works, it's good enough for me. This is certainly not what a professional would do, but just as an added insurance, because I cut these casings to the wires kind of long. As you can see, they kind of end right here. I just put on some of this liquid tape so that you can, secure your electrical connections, and that just makes sure that they won't short out on anything. They wouldn't anyway, because this case that goes over it, this panel right, where did I put it? Behind me. This panel right here is all plastic. This just goes over the top, and it's got these little feet. And I just trimmed this one, as you can see, shorter than the rest, because it's going to basically rest on the top of this wiring mass that I did. It just goes like that. And then I did just a tiny dab of super glue on the wires right onto the board here. Now, again, not something a professional would do, and some people are probably rolling their eyes and just like, what the hell are you doing? But I want to make sure that this never happens again. I don't want this to repeat and have the wires rip out of there. Now, the other thing I'll say is these connections are designed, so see that's what they look like without all this goop over them, that little one right there. They're designed where, from what I could tell, the wire goes through from the underside and it pokes out here, and then that's where you solder it. I don't have any solder wicking solder wick to suck up the old solder, and I was unable to really get the extra pieces out of there. I wanted to, but I didn't want to mess with it very long and have too much heat on the board. So I figured if I could just make the connection with the solder and be done with it, I would do that. And that's exactly what I did. Hopefully this works and it's just a good overall fix. But I mean, I wanted to show this video because nobody else has showed the inside of an APV2 control panel and what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. This is the order the wires going. You can see my little notes here, which is really funny. This was staring at the back of it, the order of the wires. Then if you flip it over, I had to write all this down because my OCD, I had to visualize it in my head. Obviously, if you flip it, black would be on the other side and red would be on the other side. So then I had to do it facing me because I couldn't. So even though I saw it here on the front, I had to like orient that. I had to flip it 90 degrees. This is how simple I am. So that I know where the wires are, which ones go where. Yeah, that's how retarded I am in OCD. Oh, there's the R word. Anyway, I'm describing myself, so that should be okay. Anyway, the ugly mass that I ended up with, but hopefully this works, and I'll let you know later in this video, and I'm sure it does work. But I'm also going to put a dab of super glue on the case of the console that I'm going to put this in. So that's what happened when I took the console down from the ceiling. It kind of all the weight rested on here. Now, granted, it wasn't that much, only like a pound. So I think these wires were like barely soldered in there anyway, or just really weak. But yeah, like it all rested on this wire for a second, and then the next thing I know, boom, it just collapsed, and wow, here you go. But most people probably won't have this problem because they won't take apart their controls, their APV2. Mine's taken apart because it's in a custom panel. It needed to fit into kind of a tighter space, so there's that. But most people probably won't have this problem. But you know, there's somebody out there that's probably going to have to repair theirs at some point because they don't want to buy a new system, like me. And I figured I'd help you out and let you know what this looks like. So anyway, hopefully this helps, and I'll let you know the result.